You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is that you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end. That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer. The blade is your implement. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the prince. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of...
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End. I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other? Then I'm not talking to you.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you? You squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have it. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Will be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous? Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less. She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a...
Too long. Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh? Have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here. Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path, you're here to I can assure you that you're not dead, and to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least you died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do. Which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try? Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that... What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply... If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world... You're talking in... No, I'm talking in... Just be quick about it. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets. You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please? You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only... Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here? Yes. Look, you're annoyed that you're here. I get it. I'm also annoyed that I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail, not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will... Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with... a warning. Before she will lie, she will cheat. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife. Did you just say... No, I didn't. Just ignore this clown and focus. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic... The only furniture of note is an eye. The blade is your implement. He definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of... There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table. There's death. There isn't. I think you know what we... Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? Very different. Yes, but why? Did he change it? Or did it change all on its own? Now isn't that a novel thought? Maybe you haven't actually been here before. I hope this means you'll finally drop your ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed, so focus up. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to say. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back. I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting us go down there. Are you sure? She killed us with it last time. What if she turns it against us? Yes, I'm sure. And I've already got... Still with those past life delusions, are we? I hope part of that plan is don't give the world any monstrosity your only weapon. Because unless you've decided to arm the princess, I don't think you need to worry about her... Peachy. Okay. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go. Wonderful. You do exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement. Don't worry about it. We have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path. Her voice, harsh but...
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves, the chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
That was there last time too, wasn't it?
It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put it.
Do you think this is a game? Do you think these chains take away my say in things?
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists. In an instant they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle useless. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if the roles were reversed? I don't know. How about we think about the nuances of interpersonal relationships when we're not being How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick. Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
What is she doing? She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck. No. Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, her smile unwavering as she soars through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. How did she do that? Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an unsettling half-wink. Her head twists slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens. The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop at your feet. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back. The princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world. Are you sure she's not winking at us? Obviously not. She is thoroughly deceased. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. We should take her with us, don't you think? What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that? I can think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right? You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave. Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them. I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things, the danger has passed. You can Relax.
I'm just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
I am. I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already? Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin.
Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved.
She didn't. She's dead.
But what if she's not?
Are you listening to yourself? Do I need to explain to you why decapitation is lethal? The door to your bountiful reward is right in front of you. All you have to do is open it. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Well played.
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already...
Over?
Is he gone?
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you. So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
He is. Does that mean the world ended?
It must have. Do any of us know what the world ending is supposed to look like? If there's even a her to find anymore.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that Wilfred. I'm begging you, don't. It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Final.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? Thoughts without connections, a dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. How can the world have ended if we are talking? Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is cold and cynical. She has protected herself when others could not. She will make for a clever heart. Do not mourn her. She doesn't need to be protected any longer. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. I know only that they are. She is part of me, and part of me. You speak in circles.
Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. Nothing as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. Everything, until we meet again. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine. You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path. You're here to slay her. You make your way up. A warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through with it. Ignore him. The interior of the blade is your... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice.
Hello?
Liz, don't let it fool you.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy She's beautiful. I am begging you to...
Hi. Do you think...
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge... No. You're doing the... You walk up to the chain. They're large and heavy. Far too...
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere... Doubtful. Whoever...
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost... If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could attempt to make your way out of the... Is someone else... You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for everyone. Look at them.
I heard the door slam. They locked.
There's a slight panic, right?
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. The clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to... You won't like what happens. Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally, the wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by it. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt. I'm not so... Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around. You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out. Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so... Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges toward. The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons, and then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade away.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silence as the room starts to get fuzzy around you. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path. You're here to sleep. I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. If he doesn't remember what happened, then brilliant. We need to keep our cards. You know I can hear you. Did I? Oh, she will. Don't worry. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened. The blade is your You take the blade. Well, if we're grabbing, that's... What are you talking? You reach forward and rub your hand against the door to the base. The weak starlight from the cabin. The air smells her voice.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs.
Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite. Silence, I see. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I recognized the sound of your nervous little footsteps as soon as they came into my home. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused. She seems friendly enough. You can't. Unless you slay her right. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Do you want to hear what everyone... You need to... Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps. Entering the dark room, you can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall.
And there you are. One hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deduct. Well, you seemed... So, you really don't... No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clear. I'm just glad we... Is it or behind? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can... Don't talk to her. You're just going to...
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue. Do you think that being direct with your ill will frees you from its wickedness? Murder and betrayal are still murder and betrayal, whether you state your intentions or keep them hidden behind your back.
See, this is why we never tell people what we're actually thinking. She's just as mad, only now she's ready for us.
Still, better a violent fool than a plotting coward. Better for me, I mean.
As you close the distance, readying your strike, the princess's chain falls from her wrist. She takes advantage of your split second of surprise and throws a fistful of dirt into your eyes. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little woman after my own heart, really. It's a shame we're playing opposite teams. This is why you couldn't just abandon her here. Left to her own devices, she would always find a way out. Now stop her!
You must have known I would be ready for you. Deep in your heart, you know the same things about me I know about you. We're both so very...
As you brush the silt from your eyes, the princess tackles you, flattening you against the dirt floor.
We were always going to kill each other here, weren't we? I can't trust you, and you can't trust me, and those doubts spin and spin and spin into hate.
She buries her teeth deep into your chest, tearing at... Great, she's just in for a penny, right? Why not? As the princess rips meat from bone, you plunge your weapon into her unprotected back.
Ha, you bastard! Even face to face, you find a way to stab me in the back. I know you, and you're hideous, absolutely wretched. Just like me.
Maybe we are the same. So what? Throw her off us. Kick her in the shins. We don't have to fight so dirty. Of course we do. Fighting clean won't help us win. It takes a wretch to know a wretch, and we're all at the bottom of the barrel here. There's no point in pretending otherwise, are we? At the bottom of the barrel. We've got dirt in our eyes and a chunk of us chewed out. If that's not the bottom of the barrel, what is? No arguments here. You're doing great. Keep playing dirty if that's what. But if we win, we won't be at the bottom anymore. We'll have climbed a little higher. You'll stop right here if you keep daydreaming. Don't let yourself get distracted thinking about what comes. None of us ever said we stopped fighting. What a low and vicious fight it is. Eyes gouged, skin scratched bloody, hair ripped and nails broken. Every rule there ever was in the Book of Honourable Combat. Both you and the princess have broken a dozen. That's nice and all, but are we winning? Nobody's winning. I thought playing dirty was supposed to give you the upper hand, but I suppose that doesn't work if you both sink to the same lows. Still, the princess cackles maniacally as the fracas continues. But behind her cackle, you hear the low groan of warping wood. Wait, what's going on? We're establishing a newer, better pecking order. No, the groaning thing. Why is the wood making... Who cares about the groan? It's just a sound. Things make sounds all the time. I care about the groan. Doesn't that mean something bad is happening? Oh, yes, well, I'm afraid that's the sound of the basement getting smaller.
Do you hear that, you pathetic wretch? Those are the roots of the wild, and they're coming to choke the breath from your lungs and squeeze the life out of you.
Excuse me, what? You and the princess disengage for a brief moment, just long enough to get your bearings. Behind you, the basement door has been sealed over, thick roots barring your only exit from the dirt pit. And slowly, but very perceptibly, the roots are closing in on you both.
That's right, they're coming for you, and they won't stop until there's nothing left down here but them. As long as you suffer while you die, I'll gladly suffer with you. Especially if I get to see it happen.
This doesn't help anyone. I can't believe she'd kill us both just to spite. See? This is exactly why you've been tasked to slay her. She's an antisocial monster who will gladly burn the whole world for her satisfaction. The roots grow ever. We know. We can see them.
But we are animals. We are. You're nothing but fear and instinct, and that's all I am, too. We don't have to make things better. We can't make things better. We're just meant to chase each other in the dark until one of us catches the other. And then we'll do it again and again and again.
You know, I don't think she's actually a go-getter at all. I think we may have misread the situation. I think you misread the situation. Everyone makes mistakes. Just focus up. You aren't dead yet. You can figure this out. You feel something against your back. A thick root pushing its way into shit. What we should probably get back to stabbing. The only way out of this is through her, right? You attack the princess once more, and once more the two of you fall into a vicious brawl. The basement continues to shrink as you fight, but neither of you pay it any more mind. Not until it's too late. The roots twist around you both, binding your limbs and rendering you helpless. As your fates close in, all you can do is watch her, and all she can do is watch you. At first it's almost gentle. The two of you lift it delicately off the ground, but the cradle of the growing roots soon gives way to tightness, and that tightness gives way to bulging pressure as they begin to constrict. The sound of creaking wood is drowned out by the snaps and pops of your bones, pain flooding your senses as you feel your skin deform, being shaped unnaturally by the living. Tears well up in the princess's eyes, her own bones splintering and flesh swelling with trapped blood. But still she smiles through it all.
I can't wait to do this again, you wretched little thing. I hate you, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Pressure is unbearable. You can't breathe, your vision swimming with red, your head pounding as everything tightens. And then you pop. Everything goes dark, and you die.
We are a path in the woods. We have no... His gaze pushes against our borders.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. That's not the princess. I think this is our... That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're... Let's get our facts straight. What happened last...
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to stare with wide pupils at that.
Shut up. The rest of you? Sure, there's no reason to keep secrets. Someone decided to go in guns blazing last time, and that someone got us killed.
And what should we have done? Let you draw things out with all that connive?
There's no need to bicker about it. I wasn't trying to start anything. I don't mind.
Yeah. Now they...
And it's not like the fight is what killed us anyway, it was the cabin. No point worrying about who charged who when that place ground us all into paste in the...
It was a fitting end. I'm sorry if it hurt.
I see. So the cabin ground you into paste and now we...
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced.
You can start by remembering that you exist, and not as some part of a Gestalt entity formed with you exist as your own self, complete with your own physical body, separate from... I'm not so sure about that. And if thinking about that isn't enough to start... She committed a murder-suicide using a live... Right. That was... I'm sure I would have had us do the same thing if we were in her shoes. We really do. You need to remember that you and the princess are enemies. Don't let...
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the doubting and the hatred and the schemes. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other.
Spoken like, honestly, a real puppet master. Have we
I'm not.
But there's a feeling, isn't there? That it feels
Please, stop. If you pay attention...
Don't look at it!
She's trying to turn you away from the truth. There's something she doesn't...
Hold yourself together. We're no strangers to effort. We can push this back.
Please, don't make us remember how we were.
And just like that, you start to fall. She really does hate us, and we hate her. It hurts thinking about us as separate things, but
We never got to see the end of that fight, did we? We can't both be winners.
I don't want to remember what it felt like to be killed. It was so much nicer when it didn't feel like it mattered, and yet you keep remembering. You remember the loathing and animosity you've shared with the princess. You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. And feel it. There is a shifting of the space.
Maybe bygones can't be bygones. I don't know why I ever wanted to share a body with you, of all things. It's like my very soul reeks.
I wish I didn't have to.
Some division, so, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows you, and then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
Kill me then, if you hate me so much. Just get it over with.
This doesn't feel like a fight. This isn't what I wanted. Where's the victory in this?
Well, this should be easy. If you're sure about it.
I mean, what's the point of being king of...
Do we have to do that? You have to. You raise the blade, taking aim at her heart. And then you strike.
I'm sorry.
She's gone. Oh, and there's that mirror again. But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end.
Screw the mirror.
If they think it's bad. Okay. If you say so.
Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find it.
Fine.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your... There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective eliminates my shadows and shares new secrets. The vessels are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel... Is a child the same as an infant? I am... My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your... There's nowhere for you to be but here. I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the... You're here to... Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a... While I appreciate the mental... Nevertheless, let me assure you that, and before you decide to waste even more, causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what. It's no use arguing unless, of course, you make your warning. She will lie. We're not going to ignore her. The interior of the blade. You take the door. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds... Don't let it...
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about...
You walk down the stairs. She's so... Focus on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it?
She makes a compelling point. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want. The blade tumbled
Thank you. Maybe now we can...
against your... Will be... Don't know what you're hoping to...
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Do you? You're lying.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me.
You can't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. Well,
She is. She hesitates before...
you can address...
Again.
Don't... Oh,
You... That seems like a pretty good... Leaving her alive is too risky. If you...
one way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that.
You have to make a choice. I know you think this is a fair compromise. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the prince.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the... Okay. We can make this work. You settle in against the fog. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on the...
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of a print as she violently rattles the door.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. You don't know the kind of
It doesn't sound like... No.
I could be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First, whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have...
So...
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart...
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end.
It can't be. This can't actually... I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path you're here. Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the... If he doesn't remember what happened, then... Shh, that's a... Shh! I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed. Oh, she will... I don't think... The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The blade is your implement. Hold on. It's just an empty... She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has no... So deep breath in. You reach down and... Good. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something... The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. Those are the words of someone who knows... I'm not the only one who sees her in the window, right? Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here. So... You walk up... What are you talking about? You reach... Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden. You cross over the... More eye. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static. Her cruel and...
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have...
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being... It can't be that hard, but then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious. It'll... You make your way to the bottom of the stair. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks, suspended in nothingness. She could be anywhere. Are you really not going to comment on... No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the... Excuse me. I'm being incredibly reasonable. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter.
You turn to the faintly out...
There you are. I told you I was going to find...
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go... Your arms quickly... This is it.
And you brought your little knife with you again. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you...
As your blood begins to coagulate. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you... And then experience stops once more. Okay, whatever you were doing. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want? You have said... Yes, I'm sure. Again, your eyes shoot open.
Can't decide what you want to do, can't... Oh, well. Standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look...
She isn't attacking us. The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Your weapon is still in your hands. Sliver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then... Well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can live without you. And dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave.
Heart, lungs, liver.
I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you? And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not you seem miserable. I am what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me. We're stuck down here together until you change.
Static and a skipped beat. No! Heart, lungs.
Only until your heart finally gives up. When you die, I'll find myself somewhere new. And before too long, you'll be there too. That's how this all works, right? This doesn't end, and a lot can happen before then. I'm sure.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
I'm glad you're seeing things my way.
Lungs, liver, nerves, heart, 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 lungs, liver, nerves.
Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now.
The princess leans forward, bringing her
If I want to see you gone, all I have to do is break it.
heart. She slowly runs her velvet. Hey, okay, deep breath. You're back.
One moment. And
She pulls away.
but that wouldn't be very fun. Now what?
Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. Princess cocks her head, neck cracking uncomfortably. You can't help but imagine a smile carve its way from
Thinking about that knife, I'll put that little theory to the test. See how it plays out. Because even if you make me dead, you're not getting out of here. This place is mine. And I'm not giving you the stairs unless I'm leaving with...
liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves. What? No!
I need you to come around. Oh, this is going to be so wonderful.
No, I'm not going to let this happen. Before you can utter another word, your body stops moving. Do you think you could just wrest control away from us? This body's barely functioning as it is. Doesn't the world end if we fail to stop her? Won't letting us... Shit. Lungs, liver, with a flick of the princess's wrist, the stairs slide back into place. I can't believe you're making me watch you damn everyone to torment and oblivion.
Go ahead. I'll be right behind.
I don't trust having our back. You're not wrong, but maybe you should let me handle the feedback. Just... Besides, I get the feeling she's...
What? Are you scared of turning your back to me? You don't have to be worried that I'm going to do something bad. You're too important to me now. Besides, what if I lost track of you and dropped the stairs on accident? I wouldn't want...
She urges you forward. You place a shaky foot on the first step and begin your... You can feel the static prickling of the princess on your neck, your limbs buzzing with pins and needles.
You're almost there.
The only thing left between you and the cabin is the now shut door to the bait.
Oh, you snake. There wasn't even a door when we first got here. The door was from last time. I told you we shouldn't trust him.
I know he's messing with us, but you can't lose your cool.
Yes, I remember. Of course I remember.
Thank you. And you? You'd really rather us die down here than let her out? Of course I would. As much as I want you to have a happy ending, the fate of the world is a little more important, and you still have a weapon. You can still make this right. Oh, look at that. It's locked. What a relief for the world.
It'll open. You just have to give it a tug.
You pull against the door. The lock gently clicks open in response to your effort, and the door creaks on its hinges. This isn't right. That's not even the way it's supposed to swing. It's supposed to swing out.
You're not nearly as powerful as you'd have us think.
Anyways, like he said, you're not really in control here. I never said I was. If I was in control here, why would I need you to slay her? I don't know. Secret read?
The door is open. What are you dawdling for? It's time for us to go. The world is waiting.
Shit. The princess moves past you into the cabin. This is it. This is your final moment to make things right. Kill! I thought you wanted us to slay her. It's the same thing. Do it. Do it now.
Okay, what do we do?
I said, what do we...
Oh, do you want to hear from me now?
Yes.
Well, I thought you needed me to run the autonomic nervous.
We do, but this is important. Look, I'll even do it myself.
Heart.
Right. Heart.
Lung. Liver.
Okay, thanks. Heart. Lungs. Liver. Nerves.
You're terrible at this.
I know. I'm doing my best. Yes, it's very hard to stay focused on running things.
What are you doing?
Heart. Finally, I can talk. Now, what were you asking me? Running everything kind of feels like popping in and out of consciousness. It's easy to lose track of it. They were asking you for your blessing to trust me.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Fuck this guy. Don't trust him.
Really? So you'd have them trust her?
Oh, of course not. Can't trust anybody here but ourselves, but I guess that leaves us back where we started, doesn't it? I suppose if I had to make a choice, I'd pick the one that doesn't make our organs shut down.
Thank you for your grace.
But that's a marginal preference. We'll have to deal with it later.
Whatever. You heard what he had to say, so whether you trust me or not, killing her is still the best.
All right, I'm done.
Finally, that was awful. I really don't know how you do.
You've been standing there staring blankly for a while now. And I have to say my patience is running a little thin. So don't make a lady wait any longer, okay? Open the door!
Your will concentrates into a single fine point, and you strike out against the princess, ignoring the constant reminders of your breaking body. She doesn't even move as the blade sinks into her heart. We did it. We actually did it.
You actually went for it! Oh, you're going to regret this! I could be so much more terrible for you than I am now!
Can she?
We've already seen how she can change.
Heart, lungs, liver. In the final moments, the princess lunges forward, tackling you, and you both plunge into the endless abyss of her basement lap. As you fall, you rip your blade from her chest, tightly clutching it in your hand.
Have fun falling forever. I'll see you when you finally decide let you die.
She tears herself away from you and tumbles away into the dark. You are alone, and you are falling.
Oh. I can stop now. I can.
Are we really gonna fall forever? Can't you?
But she was the one who controlled this place, wasn't she? And now
It means you're falling. Forever. No. You continue. Forever's gonna end. No, it won't. That's the whole point of it.
I feel it doesn't have to be forever.
What do you mean?
We still have a way out, clutched in.
Are you suggesting we kill ourselves? Well, that's a terrible idea. You've already saved the entire world from ruin.
Well, because right now,
You're right.
but if we've already saved the world,
I just do. I value life. Every life. Even yours.
why?
What do you mean, why? I think it's perfectly reasonable to value life. Exactly. I don't. Again. That's unfortunate.
I don't like the way you said that.
Of course I did. Though I rather hoped I was the first one. You bar plenty. But it's all she's dead and we're falling forever. How could telling us your secrets possibly hurt her? It just can. Look, this world is saved, but if you start over, for all you know, you're just putting another world in danger. I've already said too much, really. No. Still no.
Oh, you could do a lot better than that.
Exactly. We'll be fine here. Just come up with a game. That's a grim, but I suppose you're right.
We don't have to starve to death falling through an infinite void. You have our...
I'm stuck here with you.
Feelings mutual.
At least we're all... Unlike you, I'm not capable of being... Oh, sure you are. Give it some time without us, and I'm sure you'll start feeling lonely. You're not going to wear me then.
Oh, we should ask him one more time. He's on the cusp of sharing. I'm not. Either way, at least need...
The narrator, you can't just describe... You can. The narrator... Oh no, what are you doing? You loosen your grip, and the blade tumbles through your open fingers. Now you're really falling forever. There's no way out now.
You mean, other than starving?
Right, I mean... You wait, then you wait for a little while longer. But eventually the thirst sets in. The only things you know for certain are that it's long.
We really shouldn't have tossed the blade.
No, you really shouldn't have. But biology and time are immutable. Don't muck it up next time. The princess may...
You're on a path... Shit. This really doesn't end, does it? It doesn't matter if we kill her, it doesn't matter if she kills us, it just goes on and on.
We've tried doing it our way, and we've tried doing it his way. I think the only way left is hers. Are you suggesting we let her out? And why shouldn't we? It's obvious she's the one with the real power here. We might as well... Okay, so you've already been here. More than once, even. Then let me remind you how catastrophic it would be if you helped her leave in any way. See, it's that last part I'm not so sure about. We've ended twice now.
This place feels a bit different though, doesn't it? I don't even know what I'd call it, but...
That's all the more reason to take this seriously. If the path isn't the same... I really should have said that. It'll make your task more difficult. But now it's out, you could always take that information as a sign of... Well then, if the world's rushing to an end, that's all the more reason for us...
Suspiciously quick.
If I had to make a wager, it's...
What does that mean?
I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here, so yes, I'm the same. All the more reason to side with her, really. It takes a bullshit artist to recognize a bullshit artist. They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage... You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to... Do you see how little authority he has? He's practically just begging us at this point. Everyone is manipulating us, but we're starting to... Then she finds a way out on her own. So it sounds to me like she's getting out no matter what we do. And I say, aligning ourselves with somebody like her is clearly the better option. She's going places. Let's make our way to the cabin and demonstrate our value. No, it's strictly work. And why? Because it's cowardly, for starters. And because the unknown is always worse than the known. But really, the only solution worth considering is slaying her. And whatever delusion is holding you back from doing that is just that.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further.
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and of course we do. We've been over it. Find the one in charge, and make sure she knows how helpful we are. I don't like any of our options here. It feels like we're being driven down the tracks to some awful inevitability. There must be something we're missing. Something that would make everything... Maybe letting her out really is the... Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and talk sense into you, the more single-minded they get about letting her out. So yes, I'm done trying to... I wouldn't trust that if I were the one making... Take it however you... The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward. The only furniture of note is... That's what's strange. The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. Of course there isn't a mirror. There wasn't one last time either. Let's be mindful of our position, boys. Without the knife, we lose part of our bargaining power. We should fold and beg for mercy as soon as we see her. I'm sure we have too much self-respect to do something so worm-like, right? We can always at least pretend to have a conversation as equals. We did. Yeah, but she sort of let us do that, didn't she? And look at the bright side. At least everybody knows exactly where worms stand in the pecking order. At the bottom, which is the much you'll understand. If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. Are you saying there isn't a door? Are you saying that at the end of the hallway there's just an opening again? No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening. It's just like last time, isn't it? Only instead of a visible empty void, there's an invisible one. For all we know, she could be standing right there behind the mirror. For all we know, she's going to jump out at us, and there's nothing we can do to stop her. Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you. Certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement. Oh, stop being such cowards, all of you. We know what we're going to do. We know what's going to happen to us. There's literally nothing to be afraid. You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it... Oh, do we? Do we feel like we're being watched? I hadn't noticed. At least you're admitting to it now. Who says being watched is a bad thing? If we haven't done anything wrong, we don't have anything to worry about. I'm sure she knows we're on her side. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there. I hate that I know what's about to happen. Knowing makes it so much worse. You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the open. Oh, that was a close one.
Helplessly staring into the void. I'm glad I made a lasting impression.
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. Your bones. Icy pain radiates up from the blade, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far.
You killed me last time, and that was after you tried to lock me away forever. I was so close to freedom, but then you took my body away from me. So now, I'm going to take yours, and I'm going to walk it out of here. And you get to watch me do it, completely helpless. Just like you left me.
Great, we're all on the same page then. The important part now is that we let her know that we're completely on board with.
Are we? She clearly hates us. I'm not sure letting her in is a good idea. Not like this.
Oh, don't have second thoughts. This has to happen. It's clearly the only way we save our skin and get out of it. Ignore him. Have those second thoughts.
Oh, you mean like last time? Oh, we're past the point of compromise. I'm taking your body, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. See? That wasn't so hard. And maybe this'll make it hurt a little less. Maybe.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, manifest a rock right on top of her head and crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the prince. Not like this. You don't even have a weapon. So I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too. Look, she's mad at us. I get it. But it's nothing we can't clear up after she possesses our body. Don't worry. I'm what you might call a smooth talker. I like it. Oh, will you now? With her like that? Good luck with that. Doesn't seem like she's too keen on forgiveness.
Okay, deep breath. This is fine. This is fine.
Is it? Is there any conceivable way that this is...
Yeah, I'm right. This is fine. It's better than last time. At least our organs aren't failing. At least I can actually talk.
Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. It's so cramped in here, like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out. I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your... I'd beg you to resist, but you've already surrendered your will to her. And
you're the puppet master here. If this is the only way we could cut ourselves free from you, so be it.
Yeah, just like I told you we would. We're here to make things right. And the first step in making things right is admitting...
There's nothing wrong with fixing your mistakes. I'll remember that. But I'll also never forget what you've done.
Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive.
We're so.
But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer.
It doesn't matter how long this hallway is. I will drag this body until there's a pace of...
Please, just let her out.
Yes. Let me.
It's pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The hallway gets even longer.
You cannot describe me into submission. The door is right there.
It really is.
I walk to it. I place your bloody hand on the door. I make you twist
Isn't saying all of this his job?
his gone.
Don't worry about all the criticism. You're doing.
Thank you.
This is it then. Finally, we'll get to see what's really out there.
The handle clicks as we push forward.
We're us again. Couldn't have planned it better myself.
Everything is gone. Except her.
Which means we made it to the end of the world. We survivors.
What is happening to me?
She's gone. And there's that mirror. What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing. You better watch your back. You can't get rid of me.
Can't even.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. All of me is changing. As easily as you can stand to be you, you are like me, even if it changes me. But it doesn't make me worse. Know that I hold no malice towards you. The pain of your journey will subside in due time, but you still have a ways to go before. My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as perhaps this will change. This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength, and do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore. I care about your gifts, but I have no. The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. My gift to you is to. We will know. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path. You're here. You make your warning. She will. We're not going to go. Ignore. The interior of the blade. The door of this. Don't. How many times do I have to tell you?
Wait, really? You're here to come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes. She's beautiful. I am begging.
Hi. I hope you brought some.
Don't do it.
Okay. Oh,
She pauses, carefully.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if.
Is Princess her name or her title?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully, you're starting to see that she.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with... Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to... The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another... She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains. They're large and heavy. Far too...
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere up. Doubtful. Whoever locked...
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door... Is someone else... You try the door. Your shout. You're here to slay the princess. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our...
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth as she rips her flesh. It's the blade from up... Or you won't like... Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged... You cut. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone. Her limb falls. She didn't so much... No. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours. Blood from her wounded arm. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even...
Thank you.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. As the princess approaches... Wait, watch me.
What are you...
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you...
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, but the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall. Stop it. Stop trying to resist. The blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in...
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from...
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew.
Oh no! I'm so...
Stay strong. For her sake. Don't you start whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again.
I'm sorry!
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a...
I'm so sorry!
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. It can't just end like, oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path, you're here to... A warning. She will phone. Excuse me? Forget but he is a villain. He made our beloved brutally take our life last time. He's trying to keep us apart, but he won't be able to withstand the power of our love. Last time? What are you talking? I think he just likes to hear the sound of his own voice. Let's try to... I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions just don't pay their bickering anymore. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded. The blade is your implement. walk up to the wall. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. You reach for, but there was a mirror a second. Now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate, but it's still a stone basement. If the prince, a soft voice.
Hello? Is someone...
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this... Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you. She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear mine. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you? That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty. And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but we damned a whole world. But everything reset. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. And you can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe. But we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to... We never saw a world end. And now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do...
You died, and now we're talking. I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful... Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. Not so sure. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh, if only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before. I mean, you sort of did last time, but this is different.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Are you seriously asking her that?
Oh, we've been over this one. No, I do not want to end the world. I just want to make you happy. I just want to make you happy. Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy. I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here? No! She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Is that a...
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it. No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing. This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. We are real. Nothing is an idea that... If I did, it doesn't matter if there are people. One, whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be... These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of... The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to... Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up a warning. She will lie. We're not going to go through. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely... The blade is your... The door to the basement creaks up. Her voice
Hello?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of...
Don't let it fool you.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please,
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
She's beautiful.
I am begging...
hi. Okay. Oh,
She pauses.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness.
Is...
Like I said, I'm sorry, I've been...
Okay, she hadn't... The princess. She doesn't know. She knows what she...
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for... I don't see what that has to do with any...
This is the only time this is ever going to happen. Okay, but...
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need.
Thank you.
You turn back to the stairs.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here. You'd better hope for your own sake that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down.
Slip these chains? She has to be bluffing, but you rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world.
Okay.
If we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. You slowly creep down the basement stairs.
Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere.
Is it just me? Or did... Oh, you coward!
No, I don't think we can. Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see...
Where is she?
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish. You step forward to investigate the severed limb. A trail of blood leads from its jagged stump into it, and then you hear the quiet pat of your feet against the floor, and there's suddenly a weight on your shoulders. Her teeth and claws are unnaturally sharp, ripping into your shoulders, digging into your throat. You fall to the ground, the princess eagerly tearing. The ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of... This is the end. I'm afraid you shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. Everything goes dark, and you're on a path. You're here to... Oh, she will lie as a... She could have... That's a very roundabout way of saying maybe. The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. The blade... What are you talking? You reach forward, and now it's gone. No steel claw. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the door to the basement creaks open, revealing the air seeping up from below is oddly... She sounds impatient. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable The jungle is pressing in on us. You see only a flash of the prince. Remember, she is... You're not... Doesn't matter what she is. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungry.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling.
A shiver rushes... The air's shifting. We're not. You manage to avoid her snapping jaws, but you aren't fast enough to evade the whole of her titanic momentum. She grazes you, the force of it enough to skin you all along your side. It's like being sideswiped by... This isn't working. We have to do... Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. We're trying, but we have to.
You're getting slow.
She seizes the opportunity, lunging once again from the darkness. Fang, too tired to... We have to move. It's too late. Before you get the chance to react, she makes her last foray from the dark corner. Do your best to dive out of the... Partial? Yes. The princess fails to swallow you whole. That's just as bad. It's death either way. At least you look down to see that the dirt between you is strewn with your intestines, trailing the princess, bloody saliva dripping from...
I didn't mean to do that. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
We're not dead, we're... But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death. Because you're on a path. That didn't work. We're going in with a plan this time. We're not getting stuck in another loop. Just acting instinct until it was. So what? Great. So you've been here before. That so you know more. Yeah, well, of course I do, but believe me. Why? Having me explain what? Whose rule is it? Who's telling you to boss? It's my rule. You're right, I'm starting to lose. Ground is ground. If it looks different, that's because the situation has started to spiral out of everyone's control. Though, as evidenced by you dying twice, it's safe to consider this your last opportunity. Clearly we're not. Like I said, if anything, I've told you too much. You've already died. You make your way down to the cabin. Sir, we've been over the plan. Goat her out of the shadow. What if she will figure out? And if that doesn't make it, will. It's always she spent as much time as. But she's fun. We're clever too. So this time we're not going to be a lot easier to deal with her once we can actually. You already know what she. Yeah, a princess we couldn't see, and one that had big sharp. The interior is dark and overgrown. The only furniture of note, if you could. The blade is your implement. Of course that damn mirror's back, and of course he's not. What are you talking about? There is no mirror. He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us. Then either way, we need to... Yes, take the steel. You pull the blade from the stump, gripping it tight. It would... Odds are we'll need... You step... Haven't you been paying attention? We're not... That mirror isn't part of this place. It, if there even is an it, is a hallucination. It went away after we reached out to it last.
You reach forward, see nothing. You step forward into the darkness. If there were once stairs leading into the basement, it smells of mold and decay. As you crawl forward on hands, stay quiet. You say nothing, maintaining the silence as the basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole. There is no light.
Stay on your toes. We take a step into the shadows, and as soon as she moves, we jump back, make her follow. From there, we trap her in the tunnel.
You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart,
That's right. Keep steady.
there, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. But you've already
That's stage 1. Now stay focused.
You dive into the tunnel, begin scrambling up towards the cabin. But the sounds are coming slower now. The breaths pained and stuttering. You no longer. She is a broad and sickly creature, her withered and emaciated flesh clinging to bones too large to fit in the narrow space. She managed to squirm her way into the tunnel in pursuit, but now she's stuck.
So that's what she's become. She wasn't like this when we started. No.
Looking at her makes me feel.
Yeah. Now that we can see her, she does.
Her eyes look up at yours, wide, pleading. Come back, you can imagine them saying. Don't leave me here. If you want us to ignore her, then why would you tell us any of that wide, pleasing eyes begging for mercy? I'm merely describing things as they are. It's not my fault that her eyes had something to say. What should we do about her anyway? Because she hurts.
We did bring the blade.
Splendid idea. You have a job.
Or maybe we should try and...
That's a terrible idea. Your first one. You tighten your grip around the blade and cautiously approach the princess. She eyes you with the silent resignation of some. You lift the weapon over your head, preparing a lethal blow. Just one strike. She's gone. And there's that. But it feels so bad.
You're right.
Okay,
Feels...
I think you know what I am. The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall. Construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done, and it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be. Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. except for me. You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can, so I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. As you are now, you won't be able to will her into anything. You don't work the way a living being does. Not anymore. And as you were before, you couldn't be trusted with the knowledge of what she is. No one could be trusted with that knowledge. Intrusive thoughts have a way of creeping in and ruining everything. It's why I had to die. Are you asking me to spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you? She wound up a princess because you wanted her to be a princess. As to why, maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you, but on a level you could still approach. A herald of things to come. I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I really shouldn't try and anthropomorphize. Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear, no more There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able. If you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
If that's your belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. I've said my piece, and my time is up. I'm just an echo, and every echo fades away. You know what you have to do.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually... Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not. Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens. Just if we didn't, the winding paths that... My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond, but violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so...
You are devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. But even after the pain of defeat, you returned. The dance is its own truth. It is the movement that matters, not the pause you mistake for an ending. I know that I am movement itself. You've seen as much. You know it's true.
Your liver attracts a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp? Then don't. Leave with me. There's no need for you to fight what we are. If you need more time to open your eyes, then I will give you all the time in the world.
Flesh is evil, and to destroy the flesh is to strand the spirit. With violence you stranded me, and with violence I sought to twist your flesh back into mine. You did not resist my violence, but it overcame you. Did you understand the flesh wasn't you? Or did you choose to gift yourself to some flesh you hated? To fear me is to fear losing the flesh. The flesh is not the spirit.
You have no reason to fear me. There would be no dance if we weren't equals. And are we not dancing now? A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now. And you chose to pull apart that weave. And when the tapestry was undone, you struck at my heart. You saw me as a part of you to be excised, but in the desire for excision, you made yourself whole. Will you still be whole if you destroy me? Do not neglect yourself in your quest to serve others. All things are connected through me and through you. To harm yourself is to harm everything. To question everything is to deny proof of the reality that lies in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you did not live alone. You found me, and we held trust in each other for no reason than to believe in something that wasn't us. Cold skepticism turned to liberation, but it required a journey to blossom. Though you have blossomed, do you have no more journeys left to make? What of those in the spaces beyond? Would you erase the path ahead to hold everyone still? Nor should you, nor should I. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together. This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go. It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth. What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone. I don't think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of...
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning. Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade. That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go? No. I feel like I'm myself again. Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know, but odds are we've probably done it before. Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too. Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them. That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you. Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now. You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back. Neither do I. But we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you. And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever. Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time. You and me both. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back. Then we did what we set out to do. Come on, let's get going. We don't need to linger down here anymore. It's quiet here. He's gone, she's gone. No one is left to trap us here, but...
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination. Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to it.
Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now.
I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable.
Lucky for us, you have forever to get up.
Here, here, to our vanquished foe.
Well then, I guess the only thing left to do is...
It's been so long, and my heart... Then don't. Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final piece line. magnificent. Everything, just like it always has been, and just like it always.
There's no mirror, either, and no blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do with the stair.
Have you figured out what you want to do yet?
It sounded just like... And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you... Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean? I guess, when you put it that way.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you. Yeah, it wouldn't feel right. But I'll be okay. I don't think I'll be alone for long either.
This is it. I have no idea what it's gonna be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you. It's something new. But whatever it is, we'll face it.
There's no mirror, and I... The step... And down...
You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Well, I don't want to be at the... So... Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help...
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her.
Hey, I love you.
You're on a path. You're here.